From Culture Con all the way to the Grammys. Listen, this BVI girl has been living her absolute best life. She has worked with celebrities such as Neo, Megan Good, and just recently, y'all, gracing the Grammys, baby, speaking to mega superstars such as Chloe and Hailey Bailey. She is a creator at the very core, a gatekeeper of BVI culture, and in its simplest form, a true Caribbean woman just living her absolute best life. On tonight's episode of Caribbean Girls Run It, we are kicking it with Miss Kyra James. Stick with us.
Have you been suffering from neck pain or back pain, possibly from a bulging disc or from some mechanical issue? With 13 years of experience, we at the Rehab Center, we specialize in using physical therapy and manual therapy to help treat those issues. We use a wide range of tools: cupping, massage, acupuncture, therapeutic exercises, hot and cold therapy, even manual adjustment to help manage your pain. If you'd like to have a consultation with us, give us a call at 604-0587. And remember, we have your back.
Viewers, as promised, representing the beautiful British Virgin Islands and repping that flag high, of course, is our beautiful guest for today, Miss Kyra James Douglas, better known as Kyra James. Hey girl, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I am doing well, and for a long time, just really excited about your journey. I've been following you. So many of us have been following you. And low-key, a little jealous. But girl, we see you've been putting in the work, and just coming from a small island like the British Virgin Islands and making such an indelible stamp on the world. We are so proud of you. So I want to start with the juice, okay? Let's get into just recently you and your journey taking you all the way to the Grammys. I mean, you've been gracing the stage for an entire week and just working and doing your thing. So just tell us all about the experience.
Yes, Grammy Week was everything I imagined and more. When I got the job, I immediately was like, oh my God, I'm gonna get to go to the Grammys, which was really cool. Because, you're watching it on TV for all these years, and being in the room, I think, was really exciting, especially as a producer, kind of seeing like, oh, this is what it looks like when this stage moves and how they queue up and how they let the audience know that we're about to be live on TV. That was my first time kind of being a part of a live broadcast, and working on the Music Cares team, which is a philanthropic arm of the Recording Academy, has been amazing. They do a lot of great things to help the people in music. And so I was able to work the red carpet at the gala that Friday night and meet a lot of my favorites like Chloe and Halle and Stevie Wonder. And it was a really amazing experience.
Listen, don't fast forward so quick past Chloe and Hailey, okay? That was such a starstruck moment for so many of us Black girls from the Caribbean. I mean, we were just talking about this. These girls have been representing for Black culture, but also like in every way possible in the industry. What was that like, just being able to have such a close conversation with them, but not just that, stamping in a little bit of BVI in there, have them out there saying, listen, we coming to the Virgin Islands. What was that like for you?
Yes, Chloe and Halle, especially having locks, I've looked up to them, for style and sport. I've been watching them since they were little girls playing on YouTube. So as soon as they got to me, I gave them their flowers. I was like, I love you guys. I'm always looking at your hairstyles for inspo. I'm really proud of everything that you're doing. And Chloe was the one that stopped me in my tracks and was like, where are you from?
Oh,
and
God.
I was like, the Virgin Islands. And Halle was like, oh, I love that. And I had no idea that was going to happen. The girl next to me, when they were coming down, I asked her, I was like, I love these girls. Can you can you record for me? And she ended up capturing that really special moment. And like I said on Instagram, I think I haven't always been the most enthusiastic about interviewing people on the carpet and stuff like that, because I'm always nervous that people won't understand me, or there would be a barrier because of the accent. So to hear Chloe be excited to know where I was from and be so happy kind of felt like a very affirming moment for me.
Absolutely. And speaking to that Caribbean authenticity too, because sometimes so many of us, we move into the big world and automatically the accent changes, honey. So it just goes to show that you could be yourself and still show up and still leave your stamp. So I'm so proud of that. I'm so happy for you, just being able to represent in that moment. And, it's not just the Grammys, viewers. Yes, she worked the Grammys for an entire week, but you've been a part of so many major stages, just really setting the stage and curating lots of spaces, especially as it relates to culture and Black culture in particular. Tell us about some of your other experience working with the likes of XO Nicole, Culture Con, and so on.
Yes, XO Nicole was really like my first big girl job in the industry. And it honestly was a perfect foundation because I'd been a fan of their Instagram account for so long, the content. And funny enough, before I got the manager position, I applied to be the assistant of the manager the year before and didn't hear back. So when I saw the manager position open, I was like, they're probably gonna ignore me again, but I can still try. And funny enough, by the time I got in, they were just so happy to have me. They was like, oh my God, you can't imagine what it would have been like if you were here when the previous girl were here. You guys are so creative. And when I told them I applied for the job, they was like, we don't remember seeing your application. And that's just to tell you, sometimes when we don't hear back, we think it's a direct correlation to our worth or our value. Sometimes people don't see your application. There's so many different factors that play a part in that whole job hunting process. So you really have to be patient. But I love working for the culture. As West Indians, we're very layered because we're Black, but we're also Caribbean. And then I'm also a VI girl. So I love that with platforms like Kicking It, I could be VI to the bone. Places like EXO, I could be a Black girl to the bone. And it really confirmed for me that I could want to continue working in spaces where I'm able to be unapologetically myself and contribute to conversations that increases representation on all layers, right, of my identity.
And I love that. I love that about you, Kyra. And that's what you've been from jump. One of the things we truly admire about your journey as a creative in the industry is the fact that you've always exemplified such pure and passionate patriotism. Like, you literally take the Virgin Islands with you wherever you go. And if we can just double back for a little bit, I would love to know, like, when did you recognize, first of all, that this is the industry for you, and what informs your patriotism?
Right. So I'll handle the patriotism first. I think when content creation started to become this real thing, I remember when people started making skits and people like Maja Hype and all these people, like, these videos are going viral. We used to, of course, enjoy that because it's like, oh, Caribbean content. But back to the layers, right? It's like when you see content created by people from other islands, right? We feel seen because it's a bit closer to who we are than necessarily like an African American experience. But there's another layer, right, that brings it very close to home, and I suppose Nala's experience. And I saw that there was that hole online, and I decided to fill it. And the truth is, if you understand how marketing works, how target audiences work, there will always be a certain limit, right? Because the Virgin Islands diaspora is only so big, and it's easy to feel like well, I have to expand in order to reach more people if I want, to be this big thing one day. But for me, when it came to kicking it, I love the fact that when people saw this content, it hit really close to home.
It really
right?
resonated, yeah.
It really resonated. It made you feel so seen online. Like these jokes, extra funny because it connected to the thing that happened down the road yesterday, or this thing that happened to me in primary school. And there's just such power that comes with seeing your experiences and your identity being celebrated online. And I think that's one of my greatest joys, just creating that space for people from the same couple square miles as me to feel like somebody cared enough to create something just for them.
I love it. And you know what? You are, by extension of following your dreams, essentially also creating a path, because so many of us look to a conventional path when it comes to building a career, and also because there's so many odds sometimes working against new and evolving industries like the creators industry, and we're going to get into that a little bit after the break. So viewers, stick with us. We're coming right back.
Have you been suffering from neck pain or back pain, possibly from a bulging disc or from some mechanical issue? With 13 years of experience, we at the Rehab Center, we specialize in using physical therapy and manual therapy to help treat those issues. We use a wide range of tools: cupping, massage, acupuncture, therapeutic exercises, hot and cold therapy, even manual adjustment to help manage your pain. If you'd like to have a consultation with us, give us a call at 604-0587. And remember, we have your back.
How you guys doing? I'm Bvi'S, and I came to tell you guys a little bit about why I love and what I love about our Caribbean women. Number one, nobody on this planet, and I mean nobody on this planet, cooks better than our Caribbean women. We know that. That's not something we're trying to debate or refute. Okay? Let's just get that out of the way. Nobody on this planet cooks better than our Caribbean women. Number two, there's no more grace, there's no more beauty, there's no more class than the ones we find, and the kind and the substance we find in our own Caribbean women. You agree? I wasn't asking you if you agree. I'm telling you. I'm saying you agree. You don't have a choice. It's not really up for debate. Three, nobody can whine. Nobody can whine better than our own Caribbean women. You can't deny that. Okay? All right? That's not a debate. Have you ever seen other women whine? No. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see our Caribbean women whine. But Caribbean women, we love you. You are everything that we are. You are the essence of beauty. You are the essence of grace. Thank you for being who you are. We love you. Why don't you come over? I am battling. Why don't you come over? I wanna be your next captain. The last one to really know if navigating knows nothing. Big vessel on a small.
Our viewers, welcome back. Again, we are speaking with our BVI representative for Caribbean Girls Run It, no other than Kyra James. And, Kyra, just before the break, we were talking about this path that you're paving in the creative industry. And, when did that start for you? Like, when did you recognize that, hey, this is the direction I want to take against all odds?
Right. When I think about it, I would say creativity saved my life, honestly. I wasn't the most confident person growing up, and it was very easy for me to harper on all the things that seemingly didn't make me good enough, right? Like, we know colorism is real. I felt very sad about being the darkest girl in the room or not being the skinniest girl in the room. And I think I tried to be who I thought, was a version of myself that would be good enough. So I found myself trying a lot of different things, like, oh, maybe if I try to play sports, or if I try to be better at this thing, whatever seemed cool at the time. And I realized that when I was just having fun, like trying or making funny videos or just being myself, whenever I would share those parts of myself with the world, that's what had everybody like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I can't believe you could do these things. Yeah. And so sometimes when you born with something, it's easy for you to sleep on it, right? Because it's like, oh, I didn't realize this was special. I just kind of wake up and do this all the time. So I think when I recognize that apparently I am better at these things than the average person, or people seem to value my ideas and the things that I produce, I started finding confidence in that. So I was like, okay, I may not be this or be that, or all those things that I thought would make me good enough, but at least I have this thing. And I think I held on to it almost like a life raft, like, and I think ultimately it helped me love myself and be proud of who I am, despite these things that I thought didn't make me good enough. Yeah. And of course, now when you realize that you have a gift, you have to decide what you're going to do with it. And I always tell people, even the people doing bad things, they're really good at it. That's why they executed it so well. So when you realize you have a talent, you gotta decide if you're gonna use it for good, if you're gonna use it for bad. And I think I've always been obsessed with, okay, well, since I could do this thing, what am I gonna use it to do? I want to use it to like make people happy. I want to do it to make people proud. I want to use it to do something that makes me feel fulfilled every day. And I think that ultimately led me on this path of being confident in who I am and how I want to contribute to the world. And now I know for sure that I want to do it in media entertainment, and I want to do it in a way that's very culturally infused and focus on inclusive storytelling.
I love that. Right before this interview, I was speaking to a friend of mine. You probably know her, Miss April Glasgow. And, one of the things she noted about you in particular is the fact that you mentioned that we all have our gifts, and we truly have to decide what we're going to use it for. Are we going to use it for good or bad? And it's just so affirming that you said that, because she said, the thing I love most about Kyra is that she uses her gift to spread positivity. There's so much negativity in the world, and she has really made a stamp, like left a legacy, just creating happy content that resonates with the culture and the fabric of the Virgin Islands. So, you are on your path. And it just, again, goes to show, because so many young girls in particular, Kyra, like yourself, I can testify to that as well. So many of us, especially while growing up, get caught in that current of trying to be anything else but ourselves, anything else that fits the status quo, anything else that shows up on social media. And I think it takes a pure level of like bravery and courage to show up as yourself. And so, yeah, I'm just talking to you give me goosebumps, because this is what this show is about. It's truly about highlighting the journey and having people understand that it's not just the glamour. It's the work that goes into it. It's the effort. It's you getting up and braving the day every single day to be yourself. And, this is what we love. This is the Kyra that we love. So kudos to you.
Yeah.
All right. So talking about that, we touched on some of the struggles that, especially as young girls, we encounter. And you so candidly shared in the past on, dealing with depression. And most recently, one of the cool features that I love about your profile and your social media is affirmations. You talk about, the importance of affirming yourself, speaking positively to yourself. Yes, I know all of us have a little dose of that in our lives personally, but why did you feel compelled to like share that, especially with your platform?
Right. Piggybacking on that period I talked about earlier, I think in hindsight, one of the hardest parts of going through that like identity crisis, which ultimately led to depression and so on, was feeling like, well, nobody else seems to be experiencing this.
Girl.
And I think that intensified it, right? Because your mind is already telling you you're not good enough, you don't belong here. And you feel even more like an alien because well, everybody else seemed so happy. Everybody else seemed to
Everybody.
not be dealing with this.
Yeah.
This must be proof
Right.
that I really am destined to like never be okay.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't trying to be this like influential person or anything. I just happened to stumble here while doing what I love. But since I'm here, I do think it's important for me to now show up for the 15, 16-year-olds that are feeling the way I felt at that age, that need to see that it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
You're not the only person feeling these things, and don't accept defeat.
Yeah.
It's important for them to see that somebody who once didn't think that they belonged here could attend the Grammys.
Yeah.
Who could even in all of that still have moments of doubt, because every triumph comes at a whole new level of
new levels, new devils.
syndrome and dealing with everything else. Everything that made me feel wrong, like a defect, was actually very normal. And now that I'm friends with the people who I thought had perfect lives, I'm now close enough to know that they have things that they hate about themselves too. They have moments where they feel down too. And so now I'm like, it's important for people to know that even the people who you think have it all together are still struggling. So that means that if they could keep going, you could do it too. And so it's very important to me to be transparent, because I think lack of transparency was one of the things that made that period even harder. And I think it's something the whole world is noticing. Let's have these conversations out loud. You're seeing it integrated more in the storylines on TV and movies. You're seeing parents actively trying to walk through their children's anxiety and depression, because having these conversations out loud saves lives. And that's all I've tried to do, honestly.
That was so profound, because a lot of persons are suffering silently. And, Kyra, it's something that I take pride in doing as well. Getting up and being able to say, hey, I am here celebrating my beauty and my blemishes. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with showing up as I am. And some days I'm not okay with showing up because I need me. And so just being able to honor yourself, honor your emotions, and allowing the community, because there's so much in the community that we don't tap into. And you're right, when girls look back and they see conversations like these, it validates their feelings, their emotions, and lets them know that, hey, I'm gonna be okay. I'm going to be okay. So thank you so much for sharing so openly on that. And the affirmations as well, especially for my young girls. Oh my goodness, there is nothing more empowering to my morning than getting up and speaking positively to myself. And you have these really cool affirmations. Just tell us a few of them, or maybe two of your favorites that you tap into, just to give yourself a boost.
Right. I kind of switch them up depending on like what's going on at the time, and on Kicking It, you see I post them a lot. Really like accent. I find those are the posts that do really well, because once again, people feel seen and they share it and they feel empowered. And I just hope that, whatever, like usually what I post is what I need at the time, hoping that it reaches someone else that needs it too, because we have everything that we need. And really, like, our mind at times, could be the biggest barrier. So, you kind of have to talk it into, being you already have what you need. Your mind just kind of need to match up, right? With that potential. So to me, that's what affirmations are. It's just like brain food.
Yes.
To get you on the path that you're already destined to be on, so.
Oh. And every single day, do it every single day. And, you touched on something very important earlier. It doesn't necessarily get easier, but you get mentally stronger. New levels, new devils. You just got to keep fighting every single day, ladies. All right, Kyra, we're beginning to wrap up. There's so much I want to talk to you about, but we're running out of time. But quickly before you go, you have a habit of this or that game. So I'm going to hit you with a dose of your very own medicine. So we have like 1 minute to get through this, okay? I'm gonna go this or that, you choose, honey. So we're gonna start with gooseberry stew or tamarind stew. Let's go.
Tamarind stew.
Ew, Cardi B or Nicki Minaj?
Oh, that's hard. I do love Cardi though.
Tortola or Virgin Gorda?
Well, I born Tortola. I live Tortola, so I have to choose. I love Bvi'S, but Tortola.
Honey, it's VG, okay? And VG will always be on top. All right, let's go. Fish in mayo sauce with provisions or fried fish in Johnny cake?
Fish in mayo sauce.
Honey, no. We're gonna have to
pull. That's the toll I am me.
All right, Kyra, before we wrap up, I just want to again say thank you and ask you this question I've been asking all of my guests because this is what it's about. What makes you so proud about being a Caribbean woman? And how do you feel about being a Caribbean woman, just being able to live out your dreams?
I think that being from the Caribbean, gives me a secret sauce. I love that all those experiences made me who I am today. I love that even if I'm not there, I get to bring that with me and add it to every project I work on and every team that I'm on. And I think that's really cool. And I love seeing Caribbean girls kill it. I'm super inspired by the likes of Riri, who even at the top of her career is still speaking in her accent, is still based onto the bone. And I love that we could go anywhere and show up as ourselves unapologetically and still be successful. So
absolutely. And that is exactly what you're doing. Again, Kyra, listen, proud would be an understatement. I am so honored to know you, to have you on my timeline every single day, to be encouraged and inspired by the content that you're spewing out there for us. And also, and more importantly, for the representation, sweetheart, that you are as a Black Caribbean woman, just dominating in the big world. So thank you so much for what you're doing. And listen, we just really look forward to everything that you have to come.
Thank you.
All right, viewers, that was Kyra James representing the beautiful British Virgin Islands on tonight's episode of Caribbean Girls Run It. Until next time, I'm Javon Wilson saying bye.
Makeup sponsored exclusively by Glam by Anicia.
Beautiful, warm, exquisite. Your retreat awaits. Welcome to the British Virgin Islands, one of the world's most exclusive vacation destinations. This is paradise, and you deserve paradise. Add some luxury to your vacation. After all, you are a VIP. Experience all our amenities, including personal transportation to and from all reserved activities. I know you are craving that perfect getaway to unwind, unplug, and reset. And the weekend off just doesn't do it. Relax, we've got you covered. Look no further than here.
Hi, I'm Gia of Golden Journey Concierge Services, and we are anxious to serve you. From the moment you arrive, the vacation designed just for you begins to unfold, and your adventure awaits. You're in good hands, my hands.
Perhaps our greatest treasure is the Virgin Islands' pristine beauty. Come on, let's get down to earth, literally, and explore nature's little secret.
Are you a thrill seeker? Well, how about a mountain-high view of our capital while seated in the sky?
After a thrilling adventure, take a load off. Sink your feet into soft white sand and enjoy a bath in the cool, crystal clear seawater.
I know one thing's for sure. You cannot visit the Virgin Islands without exploring all 60 islands and keys.
Tell us your interests, and we will curate your ultimate BVI vacation experience, a Golden Journey experience. Golden Journey Concierge Services, designing luxurious vacations for the VIP in you.